show that starts now.
Oh, like right now?
Oh, yeah, do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything to me. Don't you dare.
Podcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send anything.
Label it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good.
This week, we have a guest, our very good friend, Mr. Sandro
Iocolano!
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I'm Sandro.
It's good to match energy like that.
That was very good, yeah.
Next level.
That's right. That's right. Our audience can hear you introducing yourself. It's pretty great.
Anything you want to tell our audience?
I'm very excited to be here. I love you guys dearly, and I'm excited about this. And this is a cool place to do a podcast.
We're in a dungeon.
Yep.
Those of you listening.
The Comedy Store Dungeon.
The
Yep.
basement. Dun, dun, dun,
Egg crates all over the wall. There's blood. It's cool.
That's red paint, but I'm going to let you have that one.
Well,
This is where they keep you if you have a bad set.
If you have a bad set, they put you down in the...
Get downstairs.
It's empty, though.
That's what they like about it.
It's because we all crush, bro.
I can't network in this room. Please let me out.
It's just made of business cards. This is crazy.
This week's episode is sourced from the dailygrifter.blogspot.com, from bbc.com, and, of course, the evil robots at Wikipedia.
Evil.
I love everything you just said.
They're so evil.
So evil. Sexy.
Gregor MacGregor of Clan Gregor.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
this person's real.
Yeah, this is,
Right
yeah.
away. Hello! I'm Gregor, the Gregor.
I wonder who he killed. All right, guys. Keep going.
Oh, Lord have mercy. It has begun.
Was born on Christmas Eve, 1786, at his family's ancestral home of Glengyle on the north shore of Loch Katrine in Stirlingshire, Scotland. His father, Daniel MacGregor, so boring after we just talked
Yeah,
about
it's like a Monty Python name after Gregor MacGregor III of the MacGregor clan.
I wonder where he's from.
I'm from MacGregor, Scotland.
Daniel MacGregor was a sea captain for the East India Company, and his great-great-uncle was Rob Roy MacGregor, made famous by Sir Walter Scott's novel Rob Roy. Clan Gregor is an ancient Highland Scottish clan dating back to the early 800s. It had kingly roots in Scottish tradition. So much so, the clan motto is, quote, "Royal is my race."
Okay.
A little douchey.
I don't know if I should be insulted
Yeah,
or
that's,
what. Royal power! Get out of my neighborhood, you stupid royals!
Have somebody else do it for me.
Yes, right. These people, they don't lift a pinky, but they lift an index finger.
Despite this lofty proclamation, and maybe somewhat because of it, the MacGregors did not get on well with the rest of actual royalty in Scotland. They even had their surname abolished by King James VI on penalty of death.
But he actually, just because he couldn't say it, he's like, I'm sick of saying McGregor. Stop this name. Just call him the Smiths.
From now on, they're just the Smiths.
Just the Smiths.
Hear ye, hear ye. It was only in 1774, just 14 years before Gregor's birth, that the clan name was finally restored. Maybe he had a chip on his shoulder from the way his clan was treated, or his father's death in 1794, or the considerable wealth from which he came. But Gregor MacGregor seemed destined to be a twat. He joined the British Army at 16, the youngest allowable age, when his family purchased him a commission as ensign for approximately £450.
Explain what that even means.
Purchasing
What did
a
they
commission
purchase?
doesn't seem like they're hard up for money.
Back then, if you... No, they were fairly
It's
wealthy.
like if you work at Nordstrom's, but you don't sell enough shoes, but you're from a billionaire family, so your mom's like, just give him like $300.
I'm going to buy him a job.
Make him feel, yeah.
That's what it was. You could buy...
Okay.
You could be like, I want to be a general. £1,000, please. That's
Dude,
how it
this is
works.
like pre-virtual reality, people just doing whatever they want.
Yes.
Just, I'll be a general on a ship.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
you buy your
Just
way
buy.
in.
That's interesting. The Yankees.
700 gold.
I would just chill out, though. If I had the money to buy a job, I'd be like, well, I don't want the job now. I don't need the job.
Well, it's not like he did the job well. Or anybody who bought these commissions. Like,
That's why we're talking. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
he joined the 57th Regiment of the Foot, known as the 57th Foot, in 1803.
A lot of feet.
12 inches of everything.
That's a lot of feet.
Less than a year later, he was promoted, this time without purchase, to the rank of lieutenant.
In less than a year.
Wow.
Less than a year, very quickly.
How did you like my work, sir? Huh? I'm good here.
Not purchased, but was it stuff that was not noted? Because, I mean, you know, that's pretty quick racing up in the ranks.
Yeah, I don't know. He just did it. He was young. He was hungry.
He networked well. He told his bosses, watch how I tell the sailors to, move us to the left.
Well, he also, this might have helped, he also landed himself a high society wife in the form of Maria Bowater, a very well-connected daughter of a Royal Navy admiral, with a substantial dowry. So that could have helped with this high rise up the ranks. All this, of course, was not good enough for Gregor MacGregor. And in 1805, rather than wait the requisite 7 years, he bought the rank of captain for around £900.
Whoa! So he
I can afford that now.
So he went in, bought a job, went in, got promoted on his own merit, and then bought another position. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't even know that you could honestly do that. This is such news to me that you could be like, I'll offer you $900 to make me captain, and the Navy's like, okay, sold.
Have you ever driven a boat before?
Yes, I actually recently purchased the job where I drove boats. So, yes, I'm very experienced in this.
You know what? You're hired. I like your gumption.
A lot of people work their way up. You got to buy your way up in this society. All right, go on with the story.
Gregor became obsessed with dress, rank, insignia, and medals to the point where he required every man of lower rank than the 57th foot to wear full dress uniform at all times. A move that made him very unpopular with his men.
Mr. MacGregor, it's so hot. Can I please take the tie off?
I don't care. You got to be dressed up all the way.
But Mr. MacGregor!
No, put on your tie.
Okay. I wish I could buy a better position on this boat.
In 1810, what began as a trivial disagreement between MacGregor and a superior officer escalated so far at MacGregor's behest that he was forced to request discharge from military service. He was returned his £1,350 he'd paid for his commission.
He returned his job. He stood in line and said, yes, I'd like to return this job. It didn't fit. It was a gift.
Sorry, this is more than 14 days. We can't take the job back, unfortunately.
I want to see your manager.
Yeah. No one speaks to Gregor MacGregor of the Gregors with Gregor like this.
No, not that MacGregor.
Not...
In 1811...
Give me store credit for a different job.
The 57th foot performed so honorably in battle, they were given the nickname the Diehards. Despite having left the military in 1810, MacGregor associated himself heavily with their reputation, which may have contributed to his future wild success as a criminal con man.
That's our first hint in the story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just a captain that buys his way into captainhood.
I also do shady shit.
I also do shady.
It's gonna get so shady, guys.
Oh, dude, the diehards. Yippee-ki-yay, MacGregor.
Gregor MacGregor's chicanery continued on his return to Britain. He and Maria moved in with his mom in Edinburgh, where he assumed the title of colonel, wore a badge of Portuguese knightly order, and toured the city in an extravagant and brightly colored coach. Edinburgh saw through his bullshit, so he tried his luck in London, where he introduced himself as Sir Gregor MacGregor Bart. Bart.
Oh.
You know what Bart is?
Like butt?
Yes. Except if butt was the abbreviation of the title of baronet, an order created by King James I,
Baronet?
mostly to raise money from wealthy social climbers who were in need of prestige. So he'd be like, hey, do you want to be royal? Just give me some money, and now you're royal. You're a baronet now.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
fantastic.
Basically you can buy anything in this time period.
They just buy titles and pass them around.
Yes.
It's literally like they took a joke about title companies,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But in the old days, title companies were just literally buying titles.
Yes.
I'll be the captain, and you guys will be my slaves, and, get to work.
How much is king?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that one you can't afford if you have to ask.
As far as records show, Gregor did not, in fact, have that title. But this was kind of his thing. He falsely claimed to be the new chieftain of Clan Gregor and claimed family ties to a cornucopia of dukes, earls, and barons.
Good show.
London, unlike Edinburgh, believed him, and things looked like they were on their way up. Until his wife Maria died in 1811, leaving him without her family's considerable financial support. With no real prospects, Gregor set his sights on the New World. He had seen the grand treatment given General Federico de Miranda, a leader of the Venezuelan War for Independence from Spain. He came up with a plan. He would go to the New World and return with tales of amazing adventures that would surely earn him renown in British society. He sold his remaining assets and sailed for Venezuela in 1812. This is a guy who was so douchey. He was like, I'm going to go to a different continent, start over.
Yeah. It's called reinventing yourself, Rich.
Absolutely.
We all do it, especially MacGregors.
Mm-hmm. Especially MacGregors. When MacGregor landed in the Venezuelan capital of Caracas, the revolution was not going well. The Spanish royalist armies were gaining ground, and the revolutionary government was falling apart.
How's the revolution going?
Yeah.
It's not going well.
This
Do you have any duct tape?
Did
For this revolution, real quick?
Nope, hasn't been invented yet. Why don't you invent Gregor tape? Huh?
That's
That
a
sounds
good idea. That was very.
yeah,
that was not Steamboat Willie, Groundskeeper Willie of me.
Oh yeah, from The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Take a dump in your pule.
You peel. The Spanish royalist armies were gaining ground, and the revolutionary government was falling apart. Rather than play the Scottish baronet, here he introduced himself as Sir Gregor, a knight of the Portuguese Order of Christ.
Sir Gregor at your service.
Also Portuguese somehow.
That's right. Whatever works.
He offered his support to General Miranda.
That's a great name. From Sex and the City, General Miranda.
She's the one who always fights in her nude.
Is that what she does?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yep.
Perfect.
Miranda was the naked one, right?
Wait, was she the redhead?
No, that was
or-
I think
Samantha.
they were all the naked one except for one of them.
That's a good point.
Well, two.
Who's the naked one? Charlotte doesn't get naked very
No,
much?
the one who got the Samantha was the naked one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one.
Samantha's the lady from Mannequin.
The one from Chinatown.
And Mannequin.
And man.
The Mannequin in Chinatown.
Yeah. I know this might sound funny to everybody, but if I had to choose between Chinatown and Mannequin, I have to go Mannequin just because of the age that I was at and that I'm more of a fucker than a fighter.
Right.
Now, what's your opinion on Mannequin 2?
I never saw it.
I don't know.
I never saw it because one pretty much had good closure.
Next show, we'll just do a show where we watch Mannequin 2 and talk
We
about
should
it.
because it really
Because it would be a crime if we didn't.
Let's see. Given his title and association with the British diehards, Gregor was immediately made a colonel in command of a cavalry battalion.
Immediately.
Immediately.
We've got to make this man a colonel. He's got so much experience.
Money.
I mean, he bought so many positions.
money.
Look at his medals. While he won his first battle, afterwards his success quickly waned. But Miranda was still pleased with the legitimacy a man of Gregor's fake stature lent to his cause. In 1812, he married Donna Josefa Antonia Andrea Aristegueta y Lovera.
Nicknames.
That's German for 14 names.
Knockname.
Knock name.
It's names you give yourself at night.
9 names. They said no names.
None of them.
You're not allowed to use a name.
Josefa was a cousin of Venezuelan revolutionary leader Simon Bolivar,
I'm familiar with him.
and so now he was quickly promoted to brigadier general.
Of course. Well, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was too little too late. The Spanish crushed the rebellion and captured Miranda. Gregor, his new wife, and Simon Bolivar fled to the Dutch island of Curacao.
Good alcohol.
I've heard of it. While Bolivar regrouped in preparation for the next revolt, Gregor needed something to occupy his time. So he sent his wife to hang in Jamaica while he joined the Revolutionary Army of New Granada, where, due to his credentials, he was immediately given command of 1,200 men.
Money.
Yeah, well, this time it was just that they're like, look at all those medals, and oh, what a uniform.
But how much of it is like, do you think they heard of what happened before? And they're like, yeah, just promote this guy. Eventually he'll give us cash.
Oh, that might make sense,
I
too.
mean, word of mouth back then was, they had to have it because they don't have it.
Like different armies
Yeah.
are talking to each other, and they're like, this guy comes in, and he says, let me give you $900 to be the captain. This guy's insane. If you see him, just take his cash, man.
What if they're just, like, giving him, they're like, sure, Gregor, you could be a general.
Yeah.
And they just hand him, like, 1,200 tin soldiers to play with.
Or just 1,200 men they don't like.
Yeah.
Here's some micro machines. Have fun working the lot.
Move forward! And like nobody's marching. He's like, and he goes up to him. He's like, these are just blocks of ham. Damn it! Damn it! I'm sick of buying all these positions over years. Okay. I'm just thinking of it could be a 5-hour really bad improv monologue of what this guy's saying.
While his superiors appreciated his European sense of discipline, no one else did.
Unbelievable.
That's so funny.
Poor guy.
Well, everywhere
no one
he
else did.
goes, people are like, this guy's awesome. Wait, he's a dick.
Yeah.
When the new Grenadian Revolution collapsed, he seized the chance to rejoin Bolivar's army defending Cartagena against the Spanish siege, where he played, quote, an honorable, though not conspicuous, part in its defense, which is a nice way of saying he was there.
Yeah.
In 2015, the city. In 1815, the city fell.
Yeah.
That'd be great if he was here
yeah,
now.
I was like, oh, that's right. Last year we forgot about this.
He's a vampire.
That's
I'm
like,
the president now.
we live in a time where that could actually happen. Last year there could have been all this, and we would have been like, oh yeah,
It's been a
too
lot
many
of
squirrels
posts.
online.
Too
many squirrels on water
squirrels.
This guy might be sort of similar to someone that is now.
Okay.
That's a different thing.
He's the Trump.
Maybe in
He's the Hillary.
1815, the city fell.
The
and he
Cornell
fled.
West.
He's all of them.
East.
The Al
South.
Gore.
Well,
The Kanye
it's
West.
allegorical. That guy is
Allegorical.
Yeah.
It's allegorically
That's his full
Al
name.
Gore.
He fled with the remaining men to Jamaica, where he was welcomed as a hero. His exaggerated accounts of the siege grew his popularity, even earning him the nickname the Hannibal of modern Carthage.
That's a good. Yeah. Wow.
That nickname cost him $1,200.
Absolutely. Who was the Hannibal before that?
It's just Hannibal's passed down
Yeah,
from
yeah,
generation from door by door, generation to generation.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
That was
Guy with his Jewish reference.
excellent Jewish
Very
reference.
Wow, that was
Jewish style
I wish
reference.
our listeners could see how not Jewish I look and how great that reference sounds when it comes out of my
He's
face.
a Viking Jew, if you're listening. He's a Viking Jew.
He's quite the view.
That's true.
He's a Viking Jew. He's quite the view. You can't look once. You're going to need to do it too.
Rape and pillage. Wait, did I get that? Who? Wait. Okay, I better do it again. I don't. Oh, damn it.
The feather in MacGregor's military career would
Feather
come
in MacGregor.
from...
The feather in MacGregor. The feather in MacGregor. Hey! Okay, go on. Sorry. That was fun.
would
That
come
was
from
fun.
a
We're
retreat-
having fun over here. What are you supposed to do with the feather in MacGregor? Say that 48 times.
Do it right now.
Little Italy, Feather and MacGregor. Little Italy, Feather and MacGregor. Little Italy, Feather and MacGregor. Little Italy. I can't do it.
Yeah,
All right,
you
just loop
tapped
it.
out.
Just loop it.
The feather in his military career would come from a retreat where he was chased by a vastly superior Spanish force into the wetlands of Venezuela. The Spanish cavalry was slowed by the terrain, and MacGregor's archers picked them off piece by piece. The march took 34 days and remained a major piece of Venezuelan revolutionary lore for years.
Oh, that's what it's
34 days.
in
People
March.
must have been so thin. We got to march more nowadays.
We just have parades. People go right from parades to march, or march to parades. It's too
I
much.
saw one in April recently.
Well, our last
What's that?
episode we did it was about Daniel Sickles, who after he murdered
This guy
someone.
was awful.
He was a
He
terrible
was such
guy.
a bad person.
Is that the guy who sells?
Yes.
I'm thinking of Sickles. No, I'm thinking Sickles. Sells.
This guy shot Francis Scott Key's son in front of the White House for banging his wife.
Oh wow.
And when he got acquitted on reason of temporary insanity,
Which is the first time that was ever used.
first time it ever happened, the city, like the people of the city, held a parade because they were so happy that he.
Because I think there was just so much spin on it.
Yeah, it was
There
so
was
much.
so
fun.
much spin on it that like the people didn't know what really happened. I mean, do we even know what really happened? I'm acting like we did. Well, I read on Wikipedia, so I know what happened.
Yeah.
But he shot some guy like right in the balls.
Those
and then
evil
shot him in the
robots,
head.
bro.
Oh,
Like
wow.
a guy begging for his life in the middle of the street. I mean, the guy
Francis
banged his
Scott
wife,
Key.
but like that's not a murder crime. That's like a beat him up.
Yeah. You don't have to kill somebody like
I
that.
mean, that's not an invitation though to have sex with my wife. I'm just saying.
No, I would. I mean, that's you said a kid.
Yep.
I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
That's stupid.
Right? You got wait till the kid's grown up.
Yeah, because then the kid's
Then
crying
have
the
sex
whole
with my
time.
wife. Is that what you're saying? What
I don't
the
want
fuck?
to have. She needs to be present. She's gonna be worried about the kid the whole time. Anyways, this is
Once again, a brigadier general. MacGregor looked for his next conquest.
son of a bitch.
So he sailed north with the idea of capturing a major Spanish port in Florida. He recruited a small army
That's-
from South
That's what you do
Carolina
in those
and Georgia.
situations.
Yeah,
That's important.
he's actually going to your house. to
Yeah,
steal
yeah.
Your shit.
Flow rider.
That's a guy about a period.
He recruited a small army from South Carolina and Georgia,
Heavy flow
along
rider.
with raising $160,000 by sale of scripts.
$160,000.
In that time too.
That's a lot of positions you could purchase.
Yeah. Oh, don't you worry.
I want to be the captain of this now.
Doggy, reverse cowgirl.
Oh, why? Stop! I'm hitting the
Scissor.
bottom of the table.
Scissor?
What?
Don't run with lesbians, by the way.
Fair
That's what
enough.
I've heard.
By sale of scripts to investors with the promise of land or interest on the back end. So he was basically saying, give me money and I'll give you land or money back if you fund me taking over Florida.
In your back end.
So basically, he's saying like after I win this land over from taking it over,
I'll give you...
I'm going to give you something.
Yeah, or I'll give you some land
It's
or
an
I'll give you
investment.
money back.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a venture capitalist. It's like asking
So
money for money for a
everything
film.
that's done today in politics, except not talked about.
Yes.
That openly.
Oh, it's still done. Yeah.
The exact same thing.
Yeah. Except back then it was like,
Here's
you
this really
know.
weird. I don't know if you've heard this before. It's kind of a newfangled idea, but history repeats itself.
Yeah,
I've heard
I
that
think-
before.
Yeah, the only thing that's different about time is it's the same. And
It just keeps
people
going.
are exactly the same.
And we keep doing the same thing over and over. We're getting better. Peter Buttigieg
we-
said we're getting better.
I don't know if you've heard this before,
We're
but
getting butter.
history repeats itself.
I don't know if I told you this before. Richard Slayton repeated himself
Oh, shit.
just now, which I like though. It helps ingrain the information. in there.
Boom.
Okay, MacGregor.
His great venture was to capture the 54-square-mile Amelia Island,
Oh my god.
populated mostly by pirates and other criminals.
That sounds like an awesome place.
Yeah.
Except maybe not for me. I have knee issues. I'm not really good around criminals. I can't
I'm not
run
that,
with them.
I'm
Great
not,
podcast we chose to do here then.
Well, they're not here.
we don't.
with
You don't
us.
have criminals as guests. No one's.
future
No one's. No
episodes.
one's
future
proved
episodes with
anything.
actual criminals.
I'm hoping.
They only love it.
Well, that's
The
way harder to
sky's the
sleep.
limit, or, their parole terms. But whatever.
Okay,
It's fine.
I'm down for that. We'll take some risks.
It's
I've
comedy
been
store.
friends with some ex-cons. I just mean like, an island full of them is rather intimidating. Hey, fellas, anyone have any sunscreen? It's just a weird place for me.
MacGregor tricked the Spanish commander to surrender without firing a single shot.
Here's some money.
Yeah, basically. Please don't shoot here. Yeah, I'll give you this. You don't shoot. While this appeared to be a great victory, no one really cared. Most of the residents of the island simply left for the mainland. I am now your commander. All right, cool, bro. I'm going to be not here anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let me know how it goes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, you see like a crazy commander. I'll do whatever you want. As they're walking backwards into their boat. Yeah, man.
I left my blanket on the beach.
Yeah. These are criminals. They don't have blankets. Okay.
Not to be deterred,
They probably do.
MacGregor took his most grandiose step yet when he raised a flag with a green cross over a white field and announced the creation of the Republic of Florida with himself as the head of government.
He did this?
Yes.
Right now, I'm kind of thinking this guy's a cool dude.
I just want to tell you that we're only about a third to a quarter of the way through how insane this person
He
is.
led to Trayvon Martin happening. All right, I'm just saying.
It's his
I don't
fault.
want to
It's his
jump
fault.
anything here, but
He also inspired the guy, Flo Rida. Go on.
having
Needing
sex with
money
somebody on
for
the
his
period.
new country, MacGregor tried to levy taxes on the pirates. But they had boats, so they left.
Come back here!
It's like everybody that's smart just leaves this guy. It's just like, no, we're good, man. There's a lot of places we can go.
Time for you to pay your taxes.
Yeah, we're pirates,
He
you
sounds,
idiot.
he sounds like a bad, naughty little boy.
But when are you going to go? Oh, so, come back.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool, dude. Yeah, well, I'll be right back. And then
See
just
that
never come
water
back.
you're drinking?
I'm surprised they didn't kill him.
Pay me.
expect they had boats.
I'm surprised the pirates didn't kill him. How big was his guard? Like, did he have a...
He had a few hundred men for this.
few hundred
yeah.
men? Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean,
Just in his-
according to accounts,
his
though, they were
chambers.
mostly like toothless. They're a mixture of like homeless, toothless guys and children. Is like is
Yeah.
what the reports say.
You
Oh
sound
my
super
God, it's an
politically
army
correct
barracks.
saying that that's not the best kind of troops, but I see what
Yeah.
you're saying.
It's a good point.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm offended.
Yeah. By leaving that
toothless people
out.
and children aren't good enough to be guards? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Rich.
That's rich.
That's rich.
Needing money for his new country. Oh yeah, he tried. So he still needing money. He tried to sell slaves, but since everyone had left, he had no one to sell them to.
Resale value's terrible.
It's just, there's nowhere to go. They're getting old. Got to take them off the shelf.
With troop morale failing, he tried the only thing that he could think of. He began to print money.
Clever.
Wait, you know what's funny is that this guy, of all the things that he did, this is where he decided to print. I guess he didn't need to before, but
No.
he could have just done this the whole time.
Well, hold on. His soldiers were soon rich in $1,000,000.
So he
made up new
he
money.
made up new
Dude,
money.
How much are those worth, though?
They're shrewd
Somebody's
bucks.
got some right now. They're worth $300,000. Like
Oh, they're
Oh,
super.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
funny. They were the
interesting.
most worthless thing ever, and now they're worth so
now they're
much
worth
money.
way more than real currency. Maybe we should make fake currency now. No,
Just in case?
Everybody already has it.
See if there's any MacGregor. I think
we
there's a
should make
couple
crime
left.
bucks.
MacGregor dollars?
There's a couple left.
Let's make crime bucks.
I would love to spend 40 MacGregors on a new pair of shoes.
Well, don't you? Oh man, I can't wait for this
Crime
story to
bucks?
continue to
Okay,
unfold.
Yeah, but it's with the conversion.
His soldiers were soon rich in $1 million.
A millionaires.
But since there was no one on the island to buy things from, and they weren't allowed on the mainland, where the dollars were also worthless, this too soon fell apart. In 1817, MacGregor fled the island, while an angry crowd yelled insults at him.
That seems harsh.
Well, it's going to happen to him a lot.
How many of them?
He's sort of like the Harold Hill of the Caribbean in this time. Like, yeah, there's trouble right here in River City. Here, buy my dollars. No one's happy. Okay, I'm out.
I
See you
gotta
guys.
go. How many people are like, man, I wish we left with the pirates?
Everyone. All the people are
My
like that.
God.
MacGregor landed in the Bahamas and quickly had commemorative medallions made with the green cross and the Latin inscription Amelia, Veni Vidi Vici, meaning Amelia, I came, I saw, I conquered.
See, I like to come, I see, and then I have a sandwich.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I saw, I came, and then I ate something.
Yeah.
Because I needed to have another high, another dopamine rush in my brain. Right? Always
Yeah.
after you come, you need to eat something.
Always and before.
Despite the fact that he never paid his investors and fled the island, the press on his venture was fantastic, mostly because all of their information came from him.
Oh, it's the best.
Oh my God, he's the Bible.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I'm very successful. I've done
Yeah.
a wonderful job recently.
And we-
Are you sure that
I-
that's true
That's
about you?
very true. People love me. I've successfully helped the economics of this island.
He was the first resume. He was the guy that was
the
lying
self-made
about.
resume, yeah.
Self-made resume.
Yeah.
His wife soon gave birth to his first child, a boy named Gregorio.
Gregorio.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. What was his wife?
Josefa.
Josefa.
name.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Gregor. Yeah, sure.
But can you imagine
George Foreman.
Can you imagine like introducing this guy and his son to like people at a dinner party? Like, hi, this is Gregor and Gregorio MacGregor of Clan Gregor. Meet
trying not
Jim
to
and
crack a smile,
Bob,
'cause
Jim
I'm
and
sure-
Jane Smith.
I'm sure he freaks out if you start smiling while you're saying it.
Yeah.
What's so funny?
I like to be the one guy that's just like, hey, Craig.
Yeah. MacGregor, you're Gregor. I mean, you know. So silly, silly crime.
Everything at this point seemed great. He had a respected wife, a new son, and a glowing reputation. But of course, Gregor could not have enough.
No, that wasn't enough for
He's
Gregor.
not happy.
He heard that Latin American revolutionaries were raising armies of British troops to fight in the proxy war against Spain in the New World.
Jesus.
He levied his bolstered reputation into such a deal, getting Venezuela to invest 1,000 pounds in him as a military leader. Once in London, Gregor could not help but live the high life, and soon the money was gone. He made up for the loss by selling officer commissions at a discounted rate compared to the British military.
This guy's eBay.
And in November 1818, he set sail for South America with 50 officers, 500 troops, no weapons, and very little food.
Oh, it sounds like he knows how to plan too.
Yep.
You know what about you, MacGregor? You just seem like the kind of guy that just buys his way into positions and has no freaking.
Yeah.
I'm not going camping with this guy.
I don't want a road trip with this guy.
Oh, but
know.
look at all my medals.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's nothing to eat.
It's a green cross.
Yeah. What are we going to fight them with?
Remind me to pick up some sails for the boats when we're on our trip.
You gotta have some Amelia dollars.
You got to. Yeah. Somehow these people are following this guy.
Despite a lack of funds leading to a near mutiny over a complete lack of soldier pay, MacGregor's troops managed to take the city of Portobello in New Granada in 1819.
It's a beautiful port.
Very, very. It's a bello.
Mostly because the Spanish soldiers...
Surreal.
It's brown. You can eat it instead of a burger.
He mostly won because the Spanish soldiers got lost during the battle.
Okay.
Oh, that old stereotype of Spanish soldiers getting lost.
That's such a.
Hey, where's the fort that we're in?
That's such a vague. Yeah, such a vague explanation. They got lost.
There'll be a trail of Amelia dollars. Just follow them to your worthless hut.
Rather than continue his campaign, as his officers urged, MacGregor decided to settle in Portobello and focused on developing his new chivalric order, the emblem of which would be the Green Cross.
Pot.
Yeah. That's weird. That's the pot flag.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very
interesting. His troops soon grew restless.
No connection.
None. They grew restless on account of having no money and nothing to do. Discipline fell apart, and on 1819, the Spanish attacked the city. As there were no patrols or lookouts, they took MacGregor's company by surprise and quickly captured the town. MacGregor, asleep during the invasion...
Son of a mother. This guy's...
Well, he was so tired from making up so many new titles.
That's a lot of brain energy. Absolutely. A lot of carbohydrates.
We hit the hay early.
I've been painting green crosses all day.
This guy's like a con
killing me.
artist.
I'm so high, actually. That's the problem. I can't get up.
Getting so high.
I couldn't buy a piece of slip.
Oh, I'd like to buy myself into some highness. I'd like to get high right now.
MacGregor awoke
down.
at the sound of gunshots in the square.
What the bloomin' hell is that?
That's a great song.
Gunshots in the square?
Oh, great song.
Gunshots in the square.
Missiles in a Circle was a little weird.
Is that a Morrissey song? Okay.
Well, less than Morrissey, but
Less is Morrissey?
yes.
He quickly jumped out a window and swam for his ships.
What?
Oh, yeah, no, he didn't stay to help. That's not a thing he does.
It's so funny, like, if there's, like, this part of his M.O., so if people hear about this, he just leaves. He bolts. He's a bolter.
You don't even understand how ridiculous.
He's a Bolton.
Aren't there a ton of sharks in Florida waters, too? It's like a warm...
This was now in New Granada.
Ah.
is-
This
that's-
ain't your daddy's
Wait,
Granada.
So this is now we're in South America?
We're now back in South
Okay, so
America.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, he left Amelia Island.
Yeah.
And fled back down to rejoin all the
okay.
Venezuelan shit.
Yeah, he already took care of that. He rejuvenated that island.
He jumped out a window and swam for his ships, but he passed out on the way. Luckily for him, one of his officers
Wait, in
had
the swimming he passed out?
He passed out while swimming. He made it onto a log.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, wouldn't the water? That's like a very comical thing to happen. Like you're passing out. Whoa, God! Whoa! You keep waking yourself up.
Luckily for him, one of his officers had grabbed a ship called the Hero and rescued him. While his remaining troops tried and failed to defend the city, MacGregor turned tail and fled to Haiti.
He had a tail too. Jesus.
I know so many bad things about this guy. On arrival in Haiti, MacGregor began conferring made-up decorations and titles on his officers as a way to maintain loyalty.
So he just brought up a new one, like, you're the staff leader.
You're a
guy.
tenant.
Yeah, you just make up
Congratulations.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My-
What are you doing here? What do you mean, Commander? Oh, well, okay.
Sir, I'm coming to resign. I've had enough. You can't resign. You're the coffee attendant.
Mocha Joe.
Imagine that in a Scottish accent. You're a coffee attendant. You can't leave me. I don't know. I got Jamaican for a second. You can't leave me,
That's the
man.
thing about the...
Hey, man.
It goes into that.
It's the thing about the Scottish man.
It's very, Scottish and Jamaican are actually linked.
They
People
actually
don't know this,
yeah.
but they have nothing to do with each other.
They call it Jodish.
That's a strong link.
That's a link.
They're very linked. It comes around. It bites
It's a
itself
missing.
in the
They
butt.
both have
Zelda.
nothing to do with each other.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's
You
so
are
surprising.
the strongest link.
The decorations and titles were of small comfort to his naval commander, Mr. Hudson, his rescuer at Portobello, who found himself pushed out to land when he became ill. Gregor commandeered the hero, told Haitian authorities that Hudson was a mutineer, and renamed the ship El MacGregor.
The MacGregor.
Like the MacGregor. Like,
MacGregor.
E-L?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
See.
El MacGregor.
That's good.
The ship proved to be as untrustworthy as its namesake, and MacGregor soon sold the boat and waited with his 500 troops for a miracle.
The boat itself wasn't a real boat. The boat was actually a car that purchased the rights to be a boat.
It was the big 80-foot sign that said MacGregor on it that was weighing the entire thing down. You could have made it out of lead. I don't know.
MacGregor standing at the port, and all the men are coming like, "Here, we're here to enlist on the MacGregor," and there's just a horse floating in the water. It's like, "Right this way, gentlemen, to my boat." "Sir, that's a horse." No. That horse paid good money to be called a boat. No.
The miracle soon came in the form of
Sound like you just came.
It's a miracle, yeah.
Yeah. The miracle soon came in the form of Colonel Thomas Eyre, and in the form of 400 more men, supplies, and 3 ships, one of which was named Amelia. Taking this as a sign, MacGregor immediately promoted Eyre to general, awarding him the Order of the Green Cross, and announced his plan to attack the Spanish-held city of Rio de la Hacha in New Granada.
That sounds like good sauce.
Unfortunately, he waited so long that his force of 900 soon fell to just 250.
Oh, dude, it's like a Twitter following.
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh, my
Christ.
God. Where'd you guys go? I'm putting out gold here.
Not trending anymore.
So it's not trending.
When they finally attacked, MacGregor stayed on board his ship while his lieutenants valiantly took the city.
I've still got this cheesecake right here. I can't just leave it. I'm
Whoa,
going to finish it.
guys.
Then maybe I'll...
I
ice
didn't
cream
include this
cake.
in the story, but a fun side note was that he had started going so crazy that even though they took the city and flew his flag, his green cross flag, over the city, he still wouldn't come on shore. He didn't believe they'd won. And even when his general came back to get him, he was like, "Nope, I don't believe it still."
Like, I'm not going with you. He thinks he's being
Wow.
tricked into being hung or something
Yeah.
like
A
that.
dishonest person doesn't trust other people. That's crazy.
Well, because he knows that at any time he could be, the jig is up.
Oh, he could be impeached.
Impeached in watermelon,
In
whatever they do.
nectarined, whatever they do back
nectarine,
then. Yeah.
When he
in
finally
orange,
came ashore,
tangerine,
he made a proclamation
impaired.
that was labeled by one of his lieutenants as, quote, "an aberration of human intellect,"
Unbelievable.
when he declared himself His Majesty the Inca of New Granada.
He paid himself money to be that?
Yeah.
Wow.
At this point, you'd be crazy not
How
to
great would
pay
that be if
yourself.
he
Once
was
you see it in
just
the
like
showroom,
if he
it's
just
a
had
great
his
title.
left hand right, he was like, "All right, MacGregor, I'd like to be the new Inca." "Yes, MacGregor, you can be." And then he's like puts his hands together and exchanges.
But he doesn't
money
trust
hands.
himself still. He's like, I don't believe that this is who I am.
Yeah, he spins in the mirror watching his back.
All right, I'll hand you the money. You hand me the paper. Same time.
Just with
Aye.
two hands at a desk.
Despite, or maybe because of, his apparent new royal status, things at Rio de la Hacha went about the same as they did at Portobello. MacGregor did nothing to actually command the troops, who quickly descended into a state of confused drunkenness.
Florida.
Florida. One lieutenant wrote, quote, that universal astonishment prevailed amongst his followers at the reputation he had for some time maintained. So everyone's basically going like, why is this guy fucking awesome? This guy is terrible. As the Spanish gathered to take back the town, 32 officers, sailors, and soldiers ditched the failed venture. MacGregor gathered his remaining officers the next day, giving them various promotions and green crosses,
Nice.
followed by a speech rallying them to the defense of the town. Then he headed to the docks under the guise of getting General Eyre's wife and kids to safety. But then he boarded the ship as well and fled just as the Spanish attacked. All the remaining troops, including his savior, General Eyre, were killed.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he just ditched out on buddy.
Yep.
Wow. He's okay.
That's his game.
Is that where they get
Oh, he's okay?
MacGregoring? When you MacGregor?
Yeah.
I got a MacGregor guy. Is that? I don't know what that's
You
from.
totally MacGregor'd me.
Peace. And then he just took off.
Ew, you just... He totally MacGregor'd me.
Yeah, you got MacGregor.
Yeah, dude, you don't want to... Don't MacGregor. Don't be MacGregor. Don't be a sap.
This time, MacGregor's reputation could not escape the truth. He was wanted in Jamaica for piracy regarding the theft of the Amelia.
Hey, man, you're wanted here, man. Jamaican me want to arrest this guy on the spot.
Bolivar was so outraged at Gregor's recent conduct that he ordered his death by hanging should he ever set foot in South America again.
That's a pretty good one.
That's a good destination spot, too. Like, that's sad.
The whole South America, right? That's a pretty big area.
His reputation in London was ruined by a memoir written by one of his former lieutenants, which included this line, quote, that any person would be induced again to join him in his desperate projects, would be to conceive a degree of madness and folly of which human nature, however fallen, is incapable.
Basically saying, don't join up with MacGregor. He's no good.
If only that were so.
Oh, no sewing?
We're now we're getting to the actual crime.
It's getting good.
Wait, none of this was like.
Well,
I mean, obviously,
there's some minor
speculation,
minor
it's conjecture.
Conversation, you could say
Suggestion.
casually, like, it's a crime what this guy's doing. But now,
Right. Now it's like facts. This is like when they started actually keeping logs of stuff.
No, this is all real. Everything.
No, I'm saying like it almost seems like now he's like really getting like
the stuff he was doing before was stuff that we were like, that's kind of it's like
all
a
that
gray
had been
area.
recorded.
It's a gray area.
Yeah,
he was
it
a
was
shyster.
sketchy.
He was a shyster, but no one knew for sure.
Maybe some small crimes
And
here
because
and
he
there.
bought himself high positions,
Exactly.
people would be like, well, he's a general, so, blah, 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 let's move on with our day. But now it's like, all right, you're not getting away with this.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of stole a boat,
Yep.
and he kind of just abandoned his post a whole bunch.
Sure.
But it's just like a type of thing any power person
But then
would do
again,
that you're
these
like,
were
oh, this happens
positions
sometimes.
he created himself. So I mean,
I'm king. No, I'm not. Yes, I am.
yeah.
I'm a good king. What's a good king? I'll tell you what a good king is. Yeah.
I gotta go.
Gregor MacGregor disappeared from British society for a short time. But in 1821, he returned to England with a new business venture and grand new title.
The Yellow Pages.
He was now Gregor I, Cazique of Poyais.
Oh,
It's
Paella.
that Spanish dish with seafood and yellow rice.
If you're confused,
Very good.
allow me to help.
I am very confused.
Cazique was a Spanish-American word for, quote, native chief. And Poyais was a country that does not now, nor has it ever existed.
That's exactly what I thought right away.
That sounds like something you could be made up.
But that's a smart decision. If you're going to make it up, make up the country.
Yeah, make
Right?
up everything.
I'm a veteran of a war from Quailock.
Yeah, this guy never really existed.
He didn't exist.
In the time between his humiliation at Rio de la Hacha and London, Gregor found himself in the court of George Frederick Augustus, King of the Mosquito People.
Oh my God, that's biting.
Wait, so is this a like-minded con artist over here?
The Mosquito People were a mix of descendants of shipwrecked African slaves
And
and
Jeff
indigenous people. George had been appointed the king of this region that made up part of what is now Western Honduras by the British as part of their proxy war with Spain.
Proxy page.
Despite the fact that he had almost zero actual power, he was persuaded to give MacGregor 8 million acres of land after the Scotsman plied him with rum and jewelry.
8 million acres?
How much rum and jewelry is 8 million acres?
Like a bottle and a necklace.
So how much?
Dude, I fucking missed the
What?
boat, man. I could have owned property. I got whiskey right at home.
That's okay. You can get a plane. If you miss the boat, there's like a train, plane. You're fine.
That's a
Back
very
then,
optimistic.
you only had one.
You're like a trippy Tony Robbins with if you miss the boat, simply take an aircraft.
Absolutely, exactly. Yeah.
While beautiful, the land had no actual value.
Oh,
There was little in natural resources, and it could not support crops or livestock. While MacGregor claimed to have received his title Cazique of Poyais from the Mosquito King,
Yep.
I am the Mosquito King. Welcome. Can I have you a glass of blood?
is that how you?
That's how I envisioned it.
That's how you're coordinated.
Yeah, that's how I
It's like
envisioned
a lizard. Yeah.
Yeah, like a Jim Morrison.
Absolutely.
That's right. I stood up on top of a van once and said, I'm the Beetle King.
Neither the title nor the country had any actual base in reality.
You have to have a base there.
But Gregor had learned much from his years of being bad at the military and faking the aristocracy. Mm-hmm. He saw an opportunity that would prove to be very lucrative. See, at the time, investing in Latin America was all the rage.
It was there was a bubble going on of just investing in Latin America.
It was like high-waisted pants.
Yeah.
People were like,
Okay, yeah, absolutely, yeah, sure.
The Spanish Empire was finally collapsing, and new governments were emerging with a need for cash and high rates of return on investment. While boring British government bonds paid only 3%, bonds with the newly emerging governments in Brazil, Peru, Chile, Colombia, and so on were paying 6%. Britain was experiencing a financial boom based on the rapid development in the West. As with any boom, for example, the U.S. housing market, the fast new money attracts both needy, hungry investors and people looking to take advantage of those investors.
People selling their mixtapes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, you want to check this out? Just listen to it real quick.
Yeah,
$5.
Yeah, who are you? Oh, I'm the best rapper of all time. Absolutely.
Sounds like the original timeshare.
Yeah.
Going down, you get to hang out for a weekend in Venezuela if you just listen to our little pitch.
The stage was set for what may be the greatest single con in history.
Oh, yeah. Of course Gregor MacGregor is going to be involved in the greatest single con in history. Keep going.
The Poyais scheme.
Oh, I just love the name.
Oh, the PS.
Yep.
Interesting.
Despite his recent failings, Gregor was still viewed quite positively in Britain. Most members of society only knew of his legendary march in Venezuela and his respected connection to the diehards of the 57th Foot. Gregor and his wife Josefa, now known as the Princess of Poyais, took the social scene by storm. He soon tricked respected members of British society into backing his imaginary investment, conferring more orders of the Green Cross. He even appointed one supporter to the Poyasian, quote, Royal Regiment of Horse Guards. It was easy for him to gain support as his years of fantasizing paid off and an ability to create fantasies. He invented a fake governmental structure and constitution for Poyais and a full commercial and banking structure. And, of course, he designed a full selection of military uniforms for each branch of the Poyasian army.
Dude, this guy's a stoner that just gets off on lying to people and getting away with it.
Well, it's like D&D, but he didn't have anyone else to play with.
Yeah.
He's like, let's just play with the world.
He's playing Monopoly with the real world.
Sim City.
He had an honors, title, and coat of arms, which, of course, included, can you guess it?
Pot?
A green flag?
The Green Cross.
Yep.
The Green Cross. The original dispensary.
Yeah, that's across the... It's across the bear. Not next to it, it's across it.
There's a bear in there as well?
You had to get a doctor's
It's
note.
across. It's a green across.
From MacGregor.
With the support and belief of British society, he began to sell Poyasian land certificates to the British public.
Who wouldn't?
Oh, my God, Poyasian.
Oh, you Poyasian. You Poy thing.
Poyasian.
Very sad.
Poy thing.
MacGregor mounted an aggressive sales campaign.
You're going to buy this, aren't you?
No, I don't really want to.
Come on!
No, but I don't really have any money, though.
I'll give you money.
Here's some money. You can buy it with MacGregor bucks. Here.
Oh, good.
Here's
Excellent.
10,000 MacGregor bucks. But you need to exchange those for dollars.
MacGregor mounted an aggressive sales campaign. He gave interviews in the national newspapers, engaged publicists to write advertisements and leaflets, and had Poyais-related ballads composed and sung on the streets of London, Edinburgh, and Glasgow. In mid-1822, there appeared in Edinburgh and London a 355-page guidebook, chiefly intended for the use of settlers, called Sketch of the Mosquito Shore, including the territory of Poyais. Apparently the work of a Captain Thomas Strangeways, who was an aide to the Cazique. Oh. But there was, in fact, no Thomas Strangeways. The book was actually written by MacGregor himself.
Oh, wow.
The people themselves were made up, too? Wait.
No, he had support from Britain because he was conning everybody.
Yeah.
But part of why he got support was that he's like, look at this great book written about how awesome Poyais is. It's written by Dr. Thomas. He's a doctor, Thomas Strangeways.
So is this before the shit was mapped out? Is that why? Or did he use an actual territory?
Well, at the time what was happening in Central and South America was there was so much, because there were no like real actual principalities there beforehand.
Yeah.
So it was all just the imperialistic powers, the Dutch, the Spanish, the British, the Portuguese, all fighting over different countries. And so there was a new country popping up every other minute, it seemed.
It was changing so fast that like you could get away with being like, and you guys have heard of so-and-so, and if you could fake it.
So there's people like MacGregor doing the exact same thing, except maybe not quite as dastardly.
Well, no, people like MacGregor doing the same thing, but it's for real.
It's for
like,
real.
There's real places that they're doing.
He's just doing a pop-up
shop. But
shop.
was making a point about
like,
like, you know, what it is to be imperialist. And, like,
well, so like this. Like, pretend like there's a part, like, Pretend there's like a car, like you're at the Van Nuys Auto Mall, right? All
I
these people
don't
there
wanna
selling
pretend I'm
cars.
there.
I don't want
I don't
to
want to pretend.
I mean, I'll pretend rather than be there.
I won't.
But,
I
Right,
won't.
but then you're at the Culver City Auto Mall.
well, yeah, I guess I get a sandwich at the sandwich spot in Culver City.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you
yeah,
go.
I'll pretend.
We're really
so then
being
you-
difficult for this poor guy's example. How I'm like, I will not pretend to be in Venice.
Well,
Pretend you're in Beverly Hills buying luxury automobiles.
okay.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
excellent. Right, so there are people there who sell cars. Now, then there's a guy over here who goes, "I have the best car ever," and you're like, "Can I see?" He's like, "No, but it's really good." And then you buy the car from him. So that's kind of what he's doing. Other people were actually selling real car countries.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, here's a brand new Brazil," and he's like, "Well, here's my Poyais," which isn't a thing.
Yeah.
So that's he's doing.
Right.
And it's hard to go check it out because he's probably selling it to people that are like,
There's no
"You're not- you
internet."
don't have 2 weeks to go travel there and risk typhoid fever or whatever. So I
Oh,
don't know.
boy.
I don't
It's a
know.
risk.
boy.
It's
Right?
a risk.
Strap in,
Okay.
Shefsky.
Strapping in,
Oh, boy.
strapping in, strapping on. I don't know.
What I love about this too is that he's inventing other fake people. He's like, "Well, of course it's legitimate. Ask Dr. Strangeways." Hello, I'm Dr.
Yeah.
Strangeways.
Yeah, that's not at all a fucking mysterious name at all. Dr. Strangeways.
Yeah, he just been. Hey, come
Yeah.
here. Ask Dr. McLiar Fuckface.
Yeah. Here's Phil Madoff. Here's Phil Madoff. Yeah, he's a good guy
Film it off
with my money.
with your money.
Here's Irma Liar.
Irma Gerd.
Oh my God.
The sketch comprised mostly of long reprinted tracks from older works on the Mosquito Coast and other parts of the region.
The B-sides.
The original material ranged from misleading to outright false. MacGregor's publicist described the Poyasian climate as remarkably healthy, agreeing admirably with the constitution of Europeans. It was supposedly a spa destination for sick colonists from the Caribbean. The soil was so fertile that a farmer could have 3 maize harvests a year, despite the fact that 2 harvests would be fantastic anywhere else. Detailed projections at the sketch's end forecast profits of millions of dollars. Fish and game was so plentiful that a man could hunt for fish for a single day and bring back enough to feed his family for a week. The natives were not just cooperative, but intensely pro-British. The capital was St. Joseph, a flourishing seaside town of wide paved boulevards, colonnaded buildings and mansions, inhabited by as many as 20,000 people. St. Joseph had a theater, an opera house, and a domed cathedral. There was also a Bank of Poyais, the Poyasian Houses of Parliament, and a royal palace. The sketch went so far to claim the rivers of Poyais contained globules of pure gold.
So this place is just, I mean, even just saying it to me right now, I'd be like, God, it's kind of hard to resist.
Oh, yeah, it sounds
Sounds
great.
amazing.
Like,
Even if you
let's
know
go
it's
right
fake,
now.
that there's a part of you that's like, I got to go there.
Yeah. How fake could it possibly be? That's
I mean, there's gold in the river. That's obviously
gold
real.
in the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a
Really?
theater.
Dr. Strangelove.
They have a
told me.
fucking theater
You
in
know
their
what?
town.
He wouldn't be lying if he said that there was a bank.
No.
That's
Yeah.
clearly real.
Absolutely.
Right? There's a parliament.
MacGregor knew that these claims might be seen as fanciful,
I don't know.
so he did the only thing that made sense. He made the sketch as detailed as possible and had it printed and bound in expensive leather.
Official.
It looked so nice that the public bought it hook, line, and sinker. People began buying at an insane rate, many investing their life savings.
What a jerk.
The bonds were so popular that soon he was able to double the price without losing any sales. He soon added Poyasian government bonds at the attractive and competitive rate of 6%. And that's when the real money began rolling in, and MacGregor was filthy rich. As part of his sales tactics, Gregor needed to find British citizens willing to travel to his amazing new country. This would show potential investors that their money was being well invested. Early in 1823, 2 ships, the Honduras Packet and the Kinnersley Castle, set sail for Poyais. Yes. On board were some 240 excited immigrants, many of them Scottish Highlanders, eager to inhabit the wonderful land they'd invested with their life savings and possessions. You hear there's this gold in the rivers?
So this is you got a boat just full of people like, oh, fucking can't wait to get there. I'm going to
All
start my
these
shop
optimists.
up, doing all my farming. I'm so excited. This is
Just
gonna
put
be
out. I
great.
put out in the universe, and it's happening
Yeah,
for me.
that's
That's what I
right.
Here they
did.
have
I
a
put it in the
theater.
universe.
Yeah, the universe.
Really, just this is going on. I visualized it, and here we are on the ship, the USS Make Believe.
I've been told it's a globe.
It's a part of the globe. I saw it in my antique vision board, which at the time is not antique.
That's right.
It's very modern.
It was yeah, it's a monocle.
They included a Mr. Gallagher, a banker from the city of London, who was excited at the prospect of becoming the first manager of the Bank of Poyais.
It's like the town of Rockridge on a boat. It's a bunch of idiots. I can't wait to be the manager of the bank. What are you going to do? I'm the doctor. This is going to be great. I'm a farmer, and I heard the land's fertile.
Yeah,
And MacGregor's just leaning over the what do you call it, the banister, just kind of like, fucking
There's
fools.
a toll booth.
Fucking fools. What'd you say, MacGregor? I said you're going to make a lot of money.
I said my boat is here. I'm going to jump off in a second.
Yeah. I said the land doesn't exist. I mean... He's going to jump off this boat, too? Jesus. How many boat jumpings does this guy do? It's a classic MacGregor. Classic MacGregor.
Him on the Titanic. He's women, children, and everybody important first.
He's out.
He's an Olympic boat jumper.
yeah.
Obviously. It also included a Scottish shoemaker who was equally entranced with the thought.
I heard there's tons of feet. I just got it. I heard there's tons of feet.
He gets there and there are no feet. He's like,
Son
Where
of
are all the feet you told me about?
Tom is feet.
I forgot to tell you that there
meters
are
of
no
feet.
feet in Poyais, actually. There are feetless people.
He takes off his hat. My God, there's no feet.
Everybody's walking on their hands.
He was entranced with the thought he
The
would
glove
become...
company was thrilled. Okay, sorry.
He thought he was going to be the official shoemaker to the Princess of Poyais. So his whole job would just be making princess shoes.
He's got a foot fetish. He's like, I'm just going to make some
Unbelievable.
fucking shoes with the sexy-ass princess feet.
Smells like cheese.
Oh, it smells so good. Tangy, vinegary.
Gregor,
Princess toes.
never one to miss an opportunity, pulled out an old trick from Amelia Island to dredge up some more cash. He assured his new subjects that the only legal currency in their new home would be the Poyasian dollar.
On the boat, he told them this?
Yep.
Oh.
And so, before departing, they exchanged their gold and British pounds for their new currency that he just printed himself. He then announced that since this
just doesn't sound like it's going to a good place. I just want to let you know ahead of time, as a listener.
Well, this is how Brad. He's just like, hey guys, look,
He's got a whole
new
bunch of
country.
people he's conning.
Might as well exchange your money now rather than there because your British pounds won't be worth anything there.
I honestly think this guy gets hard of just ripping things off. Like he could, if he's already rich, he's like, I gotta rip them off. It feels so nice.
It's a sickness.
Yeah.
Hey, before you sign that, did you want brakes on the car? Okay, that's going to be another $500.
Well, it's like the end.
Do you want the brakes to
watch
work?
The Street Fighter movie, that awful Street Fighter movie.
I haven't seen it.
The plot of it is like the big Russian looking bad guy wants to take over the world.
M. Bison.
M. Bison, yeah. So he has. So he's trying to take
Marvin
over the
Bison.
world. They all stop him, but then his like first in command or second in command escapes when the Street Fighters come in with a bunch of with all these chests full of money.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, so I got the millions of dollars at least. I got to escape. He opens it up and it's all Bison bucks. It's just pictures of M. Bison on dollars.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same
That's
thing.
funny. I want one of those.
Gregor MacGregor is M. Bison.
I would buy a Bison dollar on Amazon.
They're actually they have a lot less fat than beef dollars.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Very lean.
Grass fed.
Very lean.
MacGregor then announced that since these would be the maiden voyages from Scotland to Poyais,
Love women.
that all the women and children would travel free of charge. He rowed back to shore
I bet he
to
did.
rousing cheers from his colonists, and they soon set sail, flying the Green Cross flag.
Where were they setting sail to?
Poyais.
Yeah. Okay, go on with the
Does
story.
he okay? I don't want to. But does he have does he end up paying pirates to come and attack the ship and then
Oh
kill
God,
everybody?
that sounds horrifying. Go on with this. I think this is
That might be better
honestly.
than what happens. Okay,
oh
to be
my
honest.
God.
What the settlers thought when weeks later they arrived at their new home, one can really only imagine. Indeed, it was reported that some of them insisted on sailing further up the coast. For sure, so sure were they that they had been taken to the wrong place. But the truth soon became horribly apparent.
Columbus.
As the hapless settlers rowed ashore to a desolate, wretched scene confronted them. Standing where the towering buildings, opera house, and banks of the shining capital of St. Joseph were supposed to be were instead 4 tattered, run-down shacks amid the remains of a doomed British colony abandoned back in the 18th century.
So creepy. So
God, it's an old water park. It's just abandoned water park.
That's so creepy. Yeah, I saw a
Here's
picture
river
of that
country.
on Reddit.
Well, I think this could be the bank.
Yeah. Is that the shoe cobbler station?
Where are all the walls?
made of
That's
shoes.
the only thing that was actually there. That actually is a shoe cobbler.
All right,
station.
get to work.
But the theater looks like shit.
Dear citizens of Poyais, I, your Kazik, forgot to inform you there are no walls in our new country.
The cobbler's all excited. There's 4 cobbler stations.
What if he rolled up and he went, "What the hell happened?"
Oh my God, someone stole the city.
Damn it! Oh, guys.
It's not a
Well,
lot.
it's going to cost you more pounds to get back home.
It looks a lot different in the brochure. I just got to tell you,
I must have misplaced the buildings.
So he's
surfing
Can you just check your pockets?
So MacGregor's not on the boat now.
No.
He went back and he's still home in
He's
his
still
comfort.
pulling the scheme in London.
Okay, but he sent off a boat amidst cheers
Now, there are
of
also
the people.
5 more boats following this. There's 2 that just arrived. There's 5 more on their way behind it, too.
It
Filled
seems
with
like
more people.
actually it does seem like it could work now. If you take
So-
5 boats filled with people,
Well,
you got
How
a-
much
hold on.
time
a
does he
doctor,
have?
A banker,
So he has to
firefighter,
wait.
police officer,
Yeah, absolutely. If
School
he,
teacher.
all of them, yeah.
right? A cop.
Well, hopefully all the EMTs were on those boats.
What's your
everybody
job?
essentially-
I am the town DJ.
Oh yeah. It's a boat full of DJ Steve Aoki. Oh, that'd be cool.
How do you like it? It's Aoki.
Where the rich, fertile plains and gold nuggets were promised, there were instead inhospitable, swampy forests full of biting insects, venomous snakes, and deadly disease.
So people probably
the
died
worst
right
kind
away
of
of stuff
disease.
too. They're like, "Welcome! Well, ow, a snake bit me!"
Like day one.
I don't think this is going to work.
Oh, God.
Ouch.
Work out.
God.
There was no Poyasian army, no royal family, no civil service, not even one actual building. The great, prosperous nation of Poyais had all been an elaborate illusion, a heartless fraud committed on men and women from hardworking backgrounds who had dared to hope for a better life in the Americas. The obvious next move for the settlers would have been to clamber back on board and set sail immediately for Scotland. But some of them still thought that they were just in the wrong place, or that they hadn't searched well enough,
like
or
Lost.
that maybe
Yeah.
it was okay. Shortly after their arrival, a hurricane blew through Central America, wrecking their 2 ships and destroying any hope of actually turning back around and going home.
Oh my God!
The days and weeks that followed were full of misery and tragedy. Many of the 240 people, who included elderly people, began to succumb to tropical diseases. Starvation set in among people who were totally unsuited for survival in tropical swamplands. The locals refused to help, scorning their Poyais currency and pointing out that their king, King George Frederick, the Mosquito King, which I still think is the greatest title I've ever heard
Absolutely.
in
Yeah,
the first
I am the Mosquito King.
Oh yeah.
The Mosquito King insisted that the white settlers had no legal right to be there in the first place.
Y'all don't have no right
Thank
to be here anyways.
God. Thank God.
The situation appeared hopeless. The would-be royal shoemaker, who had left a family in Edinburgh, lay down in his hammock and shot himself.
Oh
Jesus.
my God! How many?
Nobody has feet! Others drowned.
That whole time I
trying
was
to
thinking
escape.
about how cool a hammock would be to lay in. But go ahead. Sorry.
The guy
committed that.
killed himself.
In the
Yeah,
hammock?
In a hammock. You're like, hey, you gonna use that hammock though, bro?
No feet.
Did it spin? Like not the hammock. I'm thinking of it. He's in a what do you call
Yo,
it?
shoe guy, stop bogarting the hammock.
What's the thing that you hang in? Is that a hammock? That you hang in?
Yeah.
You shoot
Yeah,
yourself and it
it's like a
spins.
cocoon. Yeah, he just cocooned himself.
Yeah, if he shot himself to the side, right? Put it up to his temple.
Physics.
Others drowned trying to escape. Eventually, as starvation and disease threatened to wipe out the entire colony, they managed to send word of their plight to the British colony of Belize, and a rescue mission was launched. Out of the some 240 who had left Scotland, barely 50 made it back to their homeland.
Okay.
When news of the calamity in Poyais and the true story of the state of that kingdom reached Britain in August of 1823, the reaction was predictable. The scam had run its course in Britain.
Oh my God! This guy's responsible for 200 people dying, and is still cool with that. It's just like
MacGregor left Britain in the fall of 1823, just before the few survivors of Poyais made it home. He told his partners he was taking his wife to Italy for her health, but instead made his way to Paris, France. There, he again took up the Poyais scheme, selling land certificates and arranging loans from investors. He even republished the 40-page abridged version of the sketch called, quote, Some Account of the Poyais Country. He just made it smaller. Things looked to be ramping up again, things looked to be ramping up again until the French government officials became suspicious when dozens of their citizens requested passports for a country they had never heard of.
Paris, eh?
I want to go to Blarth. I just not really a
I think there is a place called Blarth. Is there?
Blarth?
I don't know. Oh, no, it's Blythe.
Blythe.
Blarth
Blythe.
sounds cool too, though.
Let's go to
Oh,
guys.
dude.
Basically, what we're learning here is that there's a business opportunity, and I think you 3 of us should sell land in the country of Blarth.
Yeah, all that this show is doing is teaching me how to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
These are all very, if you don't care about humanity and suffering and people, but yeah.
But who cares about that?
You might care about that, but you've got to keep a roof over your head.
Here's the thing. I care about it. I don't give a shit about it, though.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Care, just don't give a shit.
Well, it's because you haven't eaten in a while.
Ooh, I'm hungry.
No,
That
that's
sounds
not
good.
true. I am,
I
you know.
could give a shit.
You gotta stop juicing. MacGregor!
Come on.
was finally arrested for his frauds on December 7th, 1825.
Why?
Where was he arrested?
In France.
In
Did
France.
he pull
okay.
over?
Yes.
On his
Yeah,
horse.
he was driving on the wrong side of the road.
What year was
Voice?
this?
1825.
Okay.
He tried many schemes to get released, including claiming diplomatic immunity as the Cazique of Poyais.
Oh,
yeah, of course.
Like, I'm the chief of Poyais.
we did it in unison.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful.
That's the equivalent of
We
guys
are
having
going
periods.
to arrest you because you have been scamming people for your fake country.
This country's... Oh, yeah, you got to do a Scottish accent. This country is real.
Yeah, but
I
nothing says
promise.
that.
Well, the whole thing is, no, that's how you speak when you're Scottish.
Yeah,
so
Scot-
obviously everything makes
The
sense.
country is real. It's
It's-
a real shithole. It's a... Yeah.
You can't arrest me. I'm the Cazique of Poyais.
think-
There is no Poyais.
Yeah.
That's what you say.
That's right. We will are going to have to argue this in a court of French. Here is a piece of bread.
Your country doesn't exist. My country exists.
It's a Kazik in effect. Is I am.
Cazique in effect.
Would you let me out if
Well,
I gave you the
next-
Order of the Green Cross?
Yes. What if I paid myself to be the police officer?
I printed out like 500 of them. I have to get rid of them somehow.
The green crosses is like a silkscreen
Well, I'll tell
shirt.
you what. You can arrest me, but how about you don't? Huh? I gotta go.
He claimed immunity as the Cazique of Poyais, but the French did not give a shit.
Come on.
The French just don't care
They
anyways.
don't listen
Even
to
if
the guy.
Pius
Let
was
him
real.
talk a bit.
His first trial resulted in a dismissal, as the one conspirator with all the relevant evidence had fled to the Netherlands. But days later, the French successfully extradited the man, and a new date was set. The delay gave MacGregor and his lawyer the time to prepare an elaborate and mostly fictional 5,000-word statement describing the Scotsman's fake respectable background, his embellished activities in the Americas, and his complete and total innocence of any intention to defraud. The Cazique of Poyais was found not guilty on all charges.
Oh, wow. Dude, these people, how do they get away with this shit? How do they get away with this shit? This shouldn't be called crime. This should be called getting away with.
It happens all the time.
Well, no, but Marianne Cotton got executed. Our first episode.
The polyester
Oh,
gang?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Okay,
she
that's true.
got hung a lot.
But then our second episode, that guy totally got away with it and
I
lived
didn't
out
get that
his
show.
days.
yeah, well, crime does pay.
Crime to pay.
MacGregor headed back to Britain, and amazingly enough, spent the next 12 years pulling off smaller variations of the same Poyais scheme to various levels of success.
Yeah, getting to know himself.
He used a mixture of manipulation of the press and targeting the uninformed to sell bonds and land certificates. These attempts never reached his previous heights. The scheme finally fell apart when King Robert Charles Frederick, brother of Charles Frederick Augustus, and the new Mosquito King, began to sell certificates.
I am the new Mosquito King.
Get off.
That's what I'm. That's
Oh,
what
well,
everyone
yeah,
would
yeah,
do.
yeah,
all my
yeah.
people, my disciples or whatever.
That's the hype, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all the fly girls
I appreciate that.
with the mosquito.
The
King.
new
good.
Mosquito King began to sell certificates in Britain for the very same land that Gregor was offering.
Oh, shit.
And then, now that it was working well for the actual country and for Gregor, other fakers began to pull the same scheme in towns where Gregor had not been yet.
He got matchstick men.
Yeah, people were Poyaising. He'd get there and they'd be like, hey, do you want to buy some land in Poyais? He's like, no, I'm the one selling Poyais. I'm the Cazique.
Two guys fighting over fake land.
Yeah. No, I'm the Cazique. No, I'm the Cazique.
I want Kazakhstan for this.
His last recorded attempt by MacGregor to sell the land in Poyais was in 1837. In 1838, Gregor MacGregor of Clan Gregor returned to Venezuela. Bolivar had died, and the price on his head along with it.
He had to put a price tag.
Due to his connections and reputation,
Can't put a price on your head.
he was granted citizenship and a pension of 1/3 his former Venezuelan military salary.
Oh, must have been nice, huh?
Yeah.
There he
pension.
lived comfortably until his death in 1845. He was buried in Caracas with full military honors.
Caracas shit.
The president and other dignitaries marched behind his coffin. A monument still stands bearing his name as a hero of Venezuelan independence. Back in Scotland, however, the MacGregor graveyard near Loch Catherine makes no mention of Gregor MacGregor.
The whole family's ashamed of him.
Yeah.
They're just like, ew, we make good scotch. We don't need that fucking tarnishing our reputation.
They make good basketballs, too.
In
basketballs?
Yeah.
the end, the Poyais scheme brought in about 1.3 million pounds, which today
I was gonna say
would account
billions.
for approximately $4.7 billion.
Dollars. Yeah. Holy crap, that's a lot of money.
To this day, the land called Poyais remains an entirely undeveloped strip on the western coast of Honduras. But there are 7 golf courses on Amelia Island.
Oh, wow.
Florida was better than Poyais.
And that's the story of Gregor MacGregor.
That's so crazy. Wow. Ewan McGregor story, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's who that was.
No, you're McGregor.
Well, me, yeah.
Me, McGregor?
He's a very selfless guy.
Me and McGregor.
Yeah.
So one of my,
Ian Ziering was.
What's fascinating about this is I actually read a bunch of different financial articles that he essentially created a version of the housing bubble like we had here with all those bad loans.
Yeah.
And dropping all the prices.
Yeah.
He his scheme specifically fucked up the British economy. Like the markets all crashed because of his scheme. He built this bubble that was fake that burst. Wow. So there's globalfinancialdata.com. Like there's all these analyses about like, hey, here's what the hell happened, and here's how that relates to how you manage your money today.
Yeah. What can we learn from this? What can we tell our listeners that will make them fucking feel
don't trust
better
anybody who buys everything that they get in life.
Yeah. There's always somebody coming in town with a new tonic.
But dude, how many people are buying stuff that you don't know about that you're working for or whatever
Constantly.
else in this world?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Now we're getting one of my favorite points of the show, where I get to show you guys some
I'll
really
take
excellent
it.
pictures.
The photos.
So,
this would be good for the listeners.
yeah, the listeners will love
we
this.
describe it to them.
Well, yeah, so it's a computer.
And sometimes we also describe where they can look at themselves.
So here is a photo of young Gregor when he first joined the military.
Oh, he looks like a
Wow.
fucking lying
He
asshole.
looks he looks like he's never seen the
that
sun.
facial expression, he looks like
Yep.
he's just apathetic as fuck.
Yeah, he does not
Did you
give a
say
shit.
photograph or that's a painting, right?
That's a painting.
Well, it's a painting.
Okay.
yeah, it's 18. Like
it's a
that's like
It's a photograph
1818,
of
I
it.
think.
parenting.
In those days, they paint you.
And then here is where I know I have a clear painting, a picture of him. So yeah, here is when he was the cazique of Poyais. There's Gregor MacGregor, the cazique of Poyais.
Still totally apathetic.
And notice that every picture you see of him is in like full dress uniform. There's never a picture of him just kicking it.
He looks very Napoleon-like. He has to always tell people who he is because he's just projecting this person he wants to be. But he always hears his mom, "You'll never be the cazique of Poyais."
And that's what my mom used to say to me, and I actually do have self-esteem and confidence issues now.
And then and then here's my
As long
favorite.
as I have somebody else's esteem.
Not a picture of him, but a picture of, here we go. Here is a fake Poyais. Here's a Poyasian dollar.
Oh wow,
That's believable.
That's the thing is it was believable.
yeah,
People
that looks.
well,
it
if
looks
it's physical
official.
money, obviously
Sure,
it's
yeah.
real. Of course,
And I mean,
so I'll buy it.
In those days, too, like to do that, it's not something you can just Photoshop. Like someone had to artfully really put that thing together like a master.
Well, he had tons of money, so he could spend money on building up his scheme.
Yeah, you could hire someone.
He made a leather-bound book
Yeah.
that had pages upon pages of details that he made up.
Yeah.
Like you kind of wish that like maybe movies were a thing, because maybe he just would have been an annoying asshole director who wore sunglasses inside.
Yeah.
As opposed to defrauding millions of people.
Totally.
Yeah.
We're both wearing our sunglasses.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sounds like a real dick.
What a douchebag. So yeah, that's the story of Sir Gregor of Clan MacGregor.
Gregor.
Defrauded the country for $4.7 billion. And I love that the fact that the land was so shitty that it's still nothing.
So here's my
And he lived until ripe old age in paradise.
Who's Andy? Here's my big question.
Andy MacGregor.
I couldn't help that one. Here's my question. So who are his descendants that all that money got passed on down to, and what are they doing in our society now?
I don't know what happened to his kids.
Because they get to erase what they want out of the history books.
Probably.
Who are his kids?
I don't know how much money he had. Gregorio was his first son.
Yeah.
And then there was a girl named Constantine. I can't remember her exact name. But he had 3 kids in the end, I believe. I don't know what happened.
In his end?
I remember also he got. I don't know how much of the money he actually kept, because he had to flee. He basically had to ditch Britain
Yeah.
and head back to Venezuela and live on his pension from the Venezuelan military.
Oh, okay.
So I think that
he didn't make a quick withdrawal.
I think when the crash happened. Also, this is a guy who was like, "Well, I have all this money. What can I use? More green crosses." Like he just would spend money on crazy. He's not the kind of guy who would buy a tiger.
Yeah.
If you could do that. Then.
Yeah, some guys buy purses. Some guys, buy shoes. This guy just buy green crosses.
Yeah, that's his jam.
This kind of guy is.
I can't believe that went on for that long. But here's the thing, though. He stayed married to the same lady the whole time.
Very faithful. Very
His
faithful.
first wife died.
His first wife died.
Mm-hmm. That was when he first left for Venezuela, because his first wife died and all of his money and
That was
influence
his family.
in Britain.
Her family was the wealthy family that was kind of
They promoted him, made him like, "Oh, you're 16, you're a general now." That's like what that first
It was
family
always about Yosefa. Like you never
And
about
then,
him.
yeah, Yosefa was his second wife.
Yeah, second wife.
And then she died, I think, in Scotland.
Okay.
Either in Scotland or in France. She died. I think she died before he went
She
back
repeatedly
to
fell
Venezuela.
on a hammer.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, I know. It's
Did
the
he
worst.
murder her?
Not that I know.
Anywhere?
So yeah, any murder in this besides like leading people into their own death.
There's no reports
Any-
of specific murder. Just like a lot of like, hey
He
guy who
pole-potted?
rescued me, can you go see what's on that beach over there?
Yeah.
Bye, I took your boat.
Just real cowardice.
Yeah.
Real cowardice.
Hey, do you
bad
mind
murders.
taking a photo of me in this volcano? Okay, thanks.
That's a really good analogy of what could have happened too. Volcano photos.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
The
the worst.
deadliest, most selfish way.
I knew
to
Joe
ask
wasn't going to win
for
that.
a photo. Joe
So-
versus the volcano.
I read some really interesting things about like the history of con men and why this worked. And one of the things that made this work so well was that he did. There's like all these levels of steps of things that you're supposed to do in order to, like, there's 6 principles that govern most persuasive relationships or con men. There's reciprocity, right? I rub your back, you rub mine. Consistency. I believe the same thing I did as I did yesterday.
Yep.
Social validation. This will make you belong. Friendship or liking, which is exactly what it sounds like. And scarcity, which is quick. There's not much to go around.
We got to
And
do this
then authority.
now. Do it now. Make the decision now before it's too late. This is the
Yep.
important time to do it. Yeah.
So he did all of these things. He was like, if you invest in this country I made up, I'll give you the opportunity of a lifetime. That's reciprocity. Social validation. You'll be the most Scottish of Scotsmen. You'll be respected. You'll make a bunch of money. Scarcity. Well, hey, there's only so much land. And authority. Well, Dr. Strangeways is a doctor. So if you don't trust me, you should at least trust Dr.
Yeah.
Strangeways.
I'm an idiot, but this guy's really smart.
That's my favorite part about this, that is the making up fake other
everything.
people
Yeah.
to validate his...
yeah.
Also, like anything in sales is like whatever you have, you want the other person to feel like they're worthy of getting what you have. So it's kind of also like thing where he's like selling this, and he's also like, "Yeah, I would sell it to you, but I mean, are you worthy of being on my new land?" And the people are like, "Well, of course I am." And then you basically,
hungry for
yeah. So you're basically having having them buy you as opposed to you sell to them.
Yeah.
So it just like it's beautiful.
Well,
You make them
psychologist-
beg you for it.
Salesman is like the ultimate you can become with everything you do. It's just selling everything you do, your point of view, your land that doesn't exist.
Well, MacGregor did a great job with it. There's a psychologist at Columbia University who talks about using the approach avoidance model of persuasion, which is what MacGregor did, which is you can convince someone by making them want to approach it and decrease their reasons they might have for avoiding it. And so he did both of those things. He's like,
So in a sense, makes them almost think like it's their idea.
Mhm.
And then when people do that, they're more likely to.
well, a lot of it is also going like hey, here's all these great reasons for it, and I've already told you everything you would say against it is already gone. So it's like the perfect way to run a con for $4.7 billion.
The only con I wouldn't run would be Scott, I think.
Scott Kahn.
I like James. Scott, not into him.
I just go to acting class at Leslie Kahn, but she took my money.
Out of my
never showed
money?
up.
Yeah.
He's going to see Wrath of Khan later.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Shatner. I just watched him in a Columbo.
Oh.
So
I got his
fucking
autograph
good.
at Comic Con.
You know that
Did you really?
Shatner purposely gains a half pound every year, so that even because he's old, as
So he doesn't.
super
So he doesn't look old in his
Uh-huh.
face.
Yeah,
Yes.
just keeps swelling
yes.
out.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you manage a half pound?
He's got enough money to manage a half pound.
Yeah.
How would you know to get a half pound? Okay, every month if I have an
he
extra
averages-
scoop of
he
sour
averages
cream.
it out, I guess.
Yeah.
I love no
That's
matter
just
what
something
he
he says
does.
for
I
publicity. It's
absolutely
really fun.
love everything he does. You got to watch the old episodes of Columbo. They're on Netflix with him. So good.
That's how the
Shatner's in
game weight so your
Columbo?
face looks better.
Like 2 episodes or 3 episodes. It was so
awesome.
good. Just like it was in the Twilight Zone episodes. But that's a long time to run a con. Like
Yeah.
that's so from beginning to end, how many years did he do his thing before
The Poyasian Con started in.
You
hold on.
po-
but before that, didn't he still do it? Didn't he do cons before?
Well, he was doing like minor things. So in Amelia, like he was. The thing I thought about this big Poyasian Con
That's
is
like
if
a
you,
long
there's
fucking
all
career.
the backstory is important because it sets up all the pieces he used.
Yeah.
Like he learned
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
creating fake commissions and that people would buy commissions.
Yeah.
He first ran the fake money scheme in Amelia in
Yeah.
order to pay off his soldiers with fake Amelia
And
dollars.
simply, even not illegally, but that he just did. He learned about like buying your way into authority and walking the walk and getting people to follow you. You know that he learned that. Like, so if you could buy your way into captain, all you got to do is walk in like you own the place and be the
Yep.
captain. Now you bought it. So knowing that could give you like a real leg up on like that false sense of confidence of like, I know that if I just do this, you know what I mean?
And the whole time he didn't know like what he was doing. He ultimately just went up there and just said, "Yeah, I'm going to do this and pretend like I know what I'm doing." And then he gained enough knowledge in his own bullshit.
It just worked.
That it worked, and he just started to go, "Oh, I did this before. I can fake this. I can fake this again."
He started the scheme in 1821, and his last recorded attempt to sell Pleiadian land was in 1837.
So what is that? 26 years or something like that?
16 years.
16 years.
16 years, yeah. But so for 60, because there's no
Well, in British pounds it is.
Well, so the only way you could ever get information and be like, you can't like Google like, hey, is this guy a dick?
Yeah,
it's just somebody on a horse goes like, by the way,
it's a game
Gregor's
of telephone.
An asshole.
Yeah. What did he say? Yeah. He said Craigan's butt. Fuck yeah, because it's too far away.
It's just too far.
Yeah.
Well, fucking awesome.
This is the episode, guys.
That was very entertaining.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Thank
Sandro,
you.
how can people find you on the interwebs?
I'm on the Twitter at the only Sandro Sandro. I'm on Instagram via my Twitter bio. I'm not on Facebook. You're not worthy to look at me on Facebook.
What happened to Doll's Beep?
I still have it. It's secured, but I don't. It's balls deep. Who doesn't go balls deep?
We go balls deep, dude.
Yeah, that's fine.
I usually go half shaft.
You go half shaft?
We were
That's
just
a great
talking
name.
about that last night.
Yeah,
Half shaft.
I'd like to go just the. I'd like to just the
we
tip. It's the. I should call it the gratuity.
I go balls
20%.
first. Does that
You
make
go balls
sense?
first?
It's really weird, but that would feel really good, though.
Yeah, I go tip deep.
It's funny how sensitive and amazing the balls are, and they get neglected so much, but balls are an amazing part.
Very, and also how sensitive, but also how not sensitive. When you think of all the times they smash up against other human beings,
Isn't it crazy?
There's a certain angle that you could slap, as long as your balls are hitting a woman or
Whatever it is you choose.
whatever it is you choose. And then again, it's not even a choice because we're all born
Everyone's
that gay.
born that way, but that's right.
Mm-hmm.
What if that's offensive? So it's not a choice?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh, I don't have enough things to do, and then people get offended.
people get offended.
What about you? What's your network information find you person?
I'm always on Instagram, JONSHEFSKY. Always find me there. You can direct message.
I'm always on Instagram.
I love Instagram.
You can find me, Rich Slayton, on Twitter at MMA Comic. I'll be changing that eventually when I ever decide that I don't want to have that handle anymore.
That you're like, I'm not doing MMA anymore.
I'm still doing it, but it's just a kind of it seems like the Ed Hardy of Twitter handles to a degree for me.
That's a pretty.
I almost feel like you have to go to You have to go to MMAA sometimes.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah,
and then you can find me on Instagram at Rich Slayton, SLATON. You can follow. You can follow us on the internets now. You can follow on Twitter the Crime Podcast at CrimePod, CRIMEPOD at CrimePod on Twitter. And if you have any questions, or you want to say what's up to us, or you want to suggest a topic, you can email us crimepodcast@gmail.com.
I love it. We're so official now.
Yeah, we're making this happen.
We got a Twitter. We got to get an Instagram eventually.
Yep. So, Mom, if you want to email me or follow me on Twitter, you can follow the show because I know you're listening. You can find CrimePod at CrimePod or crimepodcast@gmail.com.
CrimePod, brought to you by CrimePod. We got this CrimePod.
This has been a great show.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for listening to
Crime. Bye, robot.